About him. All right, let's bring in Richard Socarides this morning. He was a special assistant to President Clinton. He's also a Democratic consultant. Richard, always good to see you. Good morning to you.
Hi, Martha.
What did you think of this debate last night and Christine O'Donnell and how she's trying to, defend herself in a flagging poll situation with not a whole lot of help from Republicans?
You know, I actually think she did pretty good. I think they both did pretty good. I think it was a very feisty exchange. I think that she showed herself to be an outsider. That's what she wants to do. I think he showed himself to be enormously competent. I mean, he is very well liked in Delaware. He's been around for a long time. People in Delaware know him. He's way ahead. She, had a lot more riding on it because she had to change the dynamic. She had to outperform because she's behind, and I'm not sure she was able to do that. She got tripped up a little bit on that question about the Supreme Court. They asked her to name a Supreme Court decision she disagreed with, which was the same question Sarah Palin got questioned up on. And you kind of think, you would be prepared for that. She couldn't name one, but I suspect that that's probably because the Supreme Court, there aren't a lot of decisions that conservatives don't like out of the Supreme Court because it's very conservative these days.
All right, Richard, I want to talk to you about the rest of what's going on the campaign trail right now for Democrats in particular. And First Lady Michelle Obama is sort of stepping off the sidelines right now. She's hitting the campaign trail. White House bringing out the big guns. They've got everybody from President Clinton, former President Clinton, to President Obama, of course. Joe Biden's out there trying to help keep control of Congress. And during a radio interview yesterday, Mrs. Obama made sort of a rare religious reference on behalf of her husband. She said this. She said, quote, "Everybody I know in our communities are praying for us. Every day we feel that, and let me tell our listeners that it means the world to us to know that there are prayer circles and people who want to keep the spirits clean around us." Richard, I guess you could read into that. There's been a lot said about whether or not the Obamas go to church, what church they go to. Is there more there? Is she trying to reach out to, the Christian community with that?
Well, I actually thought it was quite a beautiful reference. I mean, I think that that's what we would all wish for everybody. It's what everybody would wish for the person in charge of our safety and security. I think it was a sincere and beautiful reference. But the thing about Michelle Obama is, she's the most popular Democrat there is right now, and she's virtually untouchable. I mean, you can't criticize her. She's going out there and saying, she calls herself the mom in chief. She talks about her girls. She talks about this election in terms of what it means for our future going forward. I mean, elections should be about the future, and she's the only person talking about it, and I think she's doing it very effectively. I mean, she and Bill Clinton are going to be out there crisscrossing the country.
I hear you. I'm just wondering how much it helps. When you look at the dynamic that's going on right there, Democrats are in a lot of trouble. And, she speaks about her husband in a very personal way. And she basically says, look, if folks are wondering if this magic can last, we need to get that magic back for him and the support that you had for him before. I'm completely paraphrasing her, but that's the sentiment
you're doing a pretty good job
expressed. How much does that really make a difference out there right now?
Right, and she calls him Barack, right? She personalizes him to such a
I don't expect her to call her to call him Mr. President.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I think it's less than 2 weeks to go.
Yep.
And what the Democrats are trying to do, and what the Republicans are trying to do also, but what the Democrats are trying to do with this is rally the base. And I think her being out there says to people who really cared about them, who really believed in them when they ran in 2008, we're just getting started. Stick with us. Stick with the future. I mean, the amazing thing about Michelle Obama, right, is that she was kind of off to a rocky start in the 2008 campaign and when she was First Lady, and people thought she might be, a hindrance to the president.
Well,
but
she
in
disappeared,
fact,
in all honesty, Richard. I mean, we really, she's done a lot of very traditional First Lady things. The gardening, the schools, the obesity, really taking a very traditional role.
It's really worked for her. I mean, she's gotten great advice on how to position herself, and it has really worked for her. She's enormously popular, and she's doing what any popular First Lady would do, is out campaigning for the Democrats.
Americans like to the First Lady.
They sure do.
And we always see usually better approval numbers for First Ladies. It was the case with Laura Bush as well than we sometimes do for their husbands.
Maybe not with Hillary Clinton, though.
No, that's true.
But
all right,
now.
we're going to save that one for another day because we've got a lot to talk about her too, Richard, in the future. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Martha.
Good to see you.
Quick check of the markets right now.